All right, our next project, water and water. You need water. What we did here, they had a deck, the other homeowners, and of course, I hate treated wood. It's pure garbage. It's high maintenance. It's everything. Give me concrete. Just give me concrete. So we dug this out. We were like farmers. We did it all by hand, and we put all the grass seeds in there. Weather's been perfect here. Normally, this place is drought-like conditions sometimes, so we got very lucky. So nothing's sprouting yet, but we got to keep it wet. Same thing with here. This is the biggest mistake anybody does. They use they think they know how to garden, and then they just create this god awful mess. Do not get into that trap. Stay away from it. Your first time buyers. Here, there was a tree. I was lucky enough to cut below the ground, put seeds, no obstructions. They did it mainly because they had cherries there, and they were worried about their pet when the cherries come down. Down here was another god-awful garden. This is like, why? Why? You know? So we're in here. They got crop still coming up there. That's going to have to be pulled when the seeds come in. You're not going to get everything in one shot. Then the dog dug out here. And now they bought this hose. I wasn't on the scene. And this has got to be, it's like $30-$40 or something. It's a piece of crap. It like bends. There was a thing here you had to put. I didn't even want to use it, and I got to water all the time, and it's frustrating. So we found this. It's Canadian Tire, this one in Canada, but I'm sure you can get this at Princess Auto in the States. A similar, it's the real. This thing is amazing. And you want to do value. You see the hose reels, they're more like 120, 130. Then you got to buy a good hose with it. The next thing you know, you're into like $300 for a retractable hose. This thing, if I told you it came out 119 Canadian, I say, my God, Kevin, you're an amazing shopper. Yeah, it did. See, I'm going here, pull. Look at that, eh? Now, but we have stucco. Okay, now we got to install it, and we have limited tools. So I managed to find this set here with all, because you got to use concrete bits to go through that stucco. But stucco's not like concrete; it's a lot softer. I'm betting to go in. I have the cheap ass drill here. I don't know how much they paid. I wish I was involved on that day. I would have got them to spend an extra $50. And I got the right bit. I've already tried one with the plugs, and they work really well. Like these big plugs, this comes with it. So, first-time home buyers, you're gonna get involved in this. I already put one plug in. That was a hole that was already there to get me started. I'm okay with this height. And let's see if this thing can go through. It can turn. Not as great. Like this bit is meant to go in SDS, which is a specialized drill, and it slides in. And I'm just using a regular one. So that's what I mean. If you were to buy one, and home buyers, maybe next time buy a hammer drill if you got brick and you got to put stuff up. You want to be clean with this. You want this strong. You don't want, like to look like an amateur out there in front of your neighbors. Let's see how we do. Okay, I'm going to put one here. Look at that. Short work, eh? All right. I'm going to undo it. The only thing, pardon my language, this is a piece of crap. This thing always comes loose. It can be frustrating, and that's the thing you got to ask yourself when you're starting out. Cheap tools can be frustrating, but I'm not going to go out and buy a heavy-duty SDS hammer for this little job. So, yeah, I know where to spend my money. That's not there yet. All right. So I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to leave that bit. I got that holding up. I'm going to try to bolt over here because I can't have that move, eh? I cannot have that move. This isn't going to be the final hole. This hole is too small for the plug, but I don't want it to move. So just put enough there that it's not going to move. I can get my other two holes. That should be okay. Now I got to tighten this thing up again. Put it in. Give me 1 sec. Here you go. So this is Cement Bill, SDS. It was way better value than the other one. They had why I bought the set was one bit was $20. That set was only $39. I might let her keep it. You know, I think it's great to have. You know, nice and easy, keep pressure. See, right there it came loose again, eh? Okay. I'm gonna put this camera down. Let's try this again. What I'm trying to show here is if you have the right bits, you make an easy job of this. You might have tried this before in a regular drill bit, and it would have been a nightmare. Like going larger, like I want the 1/8, a 1/4 inch, 3/8, now the 1/2 inch. If I had gone 1/2 inch right away with this drill bit, I would have taken a long time. But going like this, and that cost me. Remember, don't get stupid cheap. Those few bits cost me $39, where one bit would have cost me $20. I would have had a tough time doing it the right size. But this way I could get a nice fit. I know that's a little too tight. Look at that, eh? Think I can do that again? It's loose right now. Because, wow. Eh? And that's all there is to it. So what I'm doing is just taking a little bit of this stuff. Fill the holes with it. I just don't want water getting behind. This was a previous hole. That's my 2 cents. And then on the top of it, the bracket, we'll show that in a second. I'll give a nice little bead there. So no water really gets in behind, you know. I don't have an attachment for the drill for these bolts, so. And I haven't started, and this is it right here. You know. They got big threads, so they're going pretty fast. But, you know, I don't know if you can go like that and, you know, a little faster. Not really, eh? I'll get this one started. That's it. If you have a partner and you're doing a little repair like this, they'll love it too. Everybody will love it. It looks clean, looks professional. You know, you're not looking like some cheap homeowner. And you're on the road to learning value for your money. You know, you get your hard-earned money. Do a lot of these little repairs yourself, and don't get caught up like just thinking just because sometimes things are the most expensive, they're better. Just try to learn value. You know, the only thing is it's better if you have a place with this out of the UVs. I picked here because it's right close to the water, it makes life easy. Over here, they get a lot of sun. So it's not a bad spot. They got an overhang there. The rain doesn't really affect it, but over time, the UV's on the plastic. So I would suspect You get 5 years, depending where you have it. You know? So at $110, you know, $20 a year, that would be your cost for something like this. And then that's all there is to it. There, it's mounted. You can see I put a little bit of silicone on top, hit the sides. It'll be a bitch to see a little bit of drip here. Right there. I can feel that little hole right there. I'm not happy with that hole. Filled. So what? I'm just worried about the bolts in there. Anybody else has anything? Say it. I'm not. I'm just being a little cautious. Try to be cautious in your repairs. I put the make sure the rubber's in there. And the biggest mistake when you see these leak is just not tightening. I don't have a wrench big enough. You can use these channel locks. This was actually good buy, these tools. I like these tools. They're from Home Depot, and they were good. So ever so slightly. Remember, this stuff is soft, eh? This is all brass. Brass can crack really easy, so, you know, like you're squishing in the rubber right about now. And that's what stops it. And I'm just kind of get a feel for it. Okay, I'm good there. Let's turn it on. The C should go all the way open. That's it. Look at that thing. And I closed it. I'm trying to use one hand. So all the way, and then put it back about 3 turns. Some used to say 1.5 turns. I kind of put 3. And there, that looks decent. That looks decent. So what we did there is we put the eavestrough in the drain. I'm not sure where it goes. For whatever reason, the other owner took it out and did this weird ass thing. And there's another eavestrough there that goes into another drain over there. So if by chance they took it out because it was plugged, then within most places, within a year, if there's a hidden problem in the house, the previous owner is responsible. Unless they write in their clause, sold as is. And then if it's not, that's why a lot of foreclosure houses have that clause, sold as is. Now, it went all the way up. Now, what I had to do was, I couldn't get up there with the ladder because I had to rent it. It was probably going to cost like $60 to rent it. I called an eavestrough company. They did a good job. The guy came right away. But what was smart about him, I had sort of a price in my head. I knew, you know, it's a small job. One other place wanted a minimum of $300 without even looking at the job. What he did, he sent me the picture. He said, send me the picture, your phone number, address. And that's what I would have done. I would have loved that. If I was doing a small job, get a few of these lined up and it'd be fine. So it wasn't so much like the rule of thumb, go 3 places, whatever. That doesn't work in today's world. And just get a feel. Like he was $180 and the other place was a lot, and then he was just more aggressive. Now, here, we put grass seed here. It used to be a deck. We dug it up. Now it's all grass seed. Looks decent over here. They're having decent weather. They had this, I call this the garden from hell. This is where people garden and they don't finish. And they just let it grow wild. started there. Still, seeds. It's going to take some work to get that cleaned up. And then they had another one over here at that end. And for there is some white grass there. It's not from dog. There, if you see that right down there, that's where the tree was. I went below, I was lucky. And there was another one over there. The dog just absolutely loves his backyard. He's a good size for him. Loves to eating his sticks where he finds them, but he likes eating them. He's 7 months old. He's an Australian Shepherd. He is very energetic, insanely strong, smart as hell. Man, he tires you out, and he knows when to back off. He's good with me when I was doing my renos. We'd play, I kick the ball, but 7 months old, apparently you got to watch it. They get tired, and you can hurt them by doing too much. So there we go. Eavestrough done, our backyard's done. So we only did this for $100, even that, plus, the $180. So basically $400 in our sweat. And they're on their way. With the seeds, it's getting a little dry here. This soil's not that great. Maybe I'd like to put a little bit of better soil on top here. So we're going to see in a couple of weeks how this really comes out. It's been almost 2 weeks now. We see a little bit coming out. So that's it. Onward to other projects. Now, this was really bizarre. Like you see in a picture, they had the eavestrough come down and just empty into the grass. And yet they had a drainage right there. So I was a little concerned that there was a blockage, but there wasn't. Everything was fine. And you could see, before the picture, it looks so clean. This is, I know, so horrible. But I guess you'll find that in new houses, some weird stuff. This is before, and you could see like they had flower plant there, another flower plant the other area, and this was just a big mud bowl. And this was sent to me a couple of weeks after I left, and some of the grass is coming up. It's going to be a slow process if you use seeds. It's not going to happen overnight. Probably take another summer for it to really come along. You have to put maybe some more seeds, but it was a fraction of the cost of sod. Sod, we were looking at $700 plus the weight of it and unrolling it. It would be really a backbreaker. We're going to adjust the door. Well, you can see it in the camera. This dropped about 1/8 of an inch. And what I'm looking for is the cabinet is 30 inches. And from there, the door, I can kind of show you there with the round door. We're about 7/8, but this one's about a 1/16 of an inch difference. Should be like 3/32 as a gap, which is a touch under 1/8 of an inch. That looks the best, in my opinion. A 1/16 of an inch, so they'll start rubbing, no time. An 1/8 of an inch, they look like this. It's about 1/4 of an inch. So, what you need to figure out is from here, I got this gap here. What I'd love to do is see right here, show you the gap over here, right over there. See that gap, I don't really care if it's over. What I mean by that, even if it was 1/4 inch so dark, it wouldn't matter. But I'd love to get this over and get these a little tighter. So I'm going to start here and see if I can bring that. But I got to check here. They might have had these already stripped out. Yeah. So what I got to do, I got to start with the right door and bring that far over as I can. The other thing is, I'm trying to zoom in here, and they really went right to the ceiling. I hate doors like this or cabinets like this. I mean, leave at least 5 inches down, because now they got like 41-inch cabinets, and they should be here 18 to 21, and they're a little bit low. I like to go in the middle. I like to go in this range here. And the reason is simple: toasters and heat and everything else that's in between. So let's take a look how this looks. So I'm using this screw to push it over as far as I can. I'll worry about the height later. I don't know the brand of these hinges. They seem pretty decent. Nice thing is you can use the Robertson, the green. Repair, or whatever you want to call it. They had the vent here that was just full of lint. And they used, I don't know if you've ever seen it, the corrugated dryer vent, you know, looks, I don't know, you see it's plastic, you know, it just really was just falling apart. I'm not a fan of that because of sometimes the lint goes through and then the lint just builds up. And then when you have a little lint build up, then another one, another one, another one. Something like this is just no obstruction. Very easy. This one's aluminum. You just kind of go in here. Let's see if I can do this. Make a liar out of me. So you just kind of get lined up. And you're supposed to slip in there as you go in. Alright? Keep the seam out this way because I'm going to run a tape here. This will leak if you look inside. And you got this end. And that's how the dryer end is. So I want it to end the same. And really just up like this. I glued the first two here, but I didn't here because I wanted, if you have to disconnect it, it can be a big bear. Now this is the other thing. Use the metal tape. Yeah, it's more expensive. I'm screwing up the budget. Do not use the duct tape. It will not last. And it's so important to get a nice seam here. Just kind of put it on. Go around. I have that seam nicely done. I'm going to use the last of this. This stuff's expensive, eh? So you don't want to waste it. And I'm going to hit the seam right here. You've probably seen HV guys have a little like credit card. They go over this with it, and important to keep it down. Turn this right here. And then I'm going to get this one into the dryer and then keep this pushed back like that. So, but I will be able to turn this. I got it really good here. I'm going to put a little tape there so this doesn't move. And you can see why it's so important. That just slips on. I didn't set this up, eh? So, but I did forget one thing. The ring. Now put it here if I can get a screwdriver. See, I don't have much room here to get a screwdriver on it. So I'm better off to screw it from that side. You don't want to tape this one. I love it when it fits the good time. I didn't have to cut it. You can almost cut, you can cut this aluminum, like not when it's together, when it's flat, you can cut it almost with scissors. Yeah, I like that. Got a nice turn. A little sharp here, but I'll live with that. And I got a little bit of flux here, huh? So I don't want this to slip off. Hey, that's the dog, eh? I'm actually dog sitting and he's outside. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna just tighten this up. Just gonna pull it out here a bit. Now it's designed for 4 inches. 1 minute. That's the dog. Yeah, I'm here. Nice doggy. Come on. Can I pet your dog, mister? Is he nice? Oh. Wow, snorting. Okay. Come on. Bring it. All right, I'm not playing. What? All right, want me to throw it? Okay, I'm gonna go. Very nice. Show everybody how civilized you are. Okay, it's like, I'll give it one more little turn there. Now I'm done. All day long, no problem. You can even just play with this a little if you want less of a turn. You know, trying to smooth like the flow. If it goes like this, the less of a sharp turn you have, the better it is, eh? I think it's about as good as I'm gonna get for that turn. I'm happy with this. This will not come off. I'm gonna go one more. Now to tape. Finish this seam. Air can leak out of all this right here, but I'll put the this on. I'm not really worried about this as insulation. It is plastic. It's rated for 180 degrees, so I want to stay right about here. That's my sweet spot right there. So just go with a little piece. I don't want to go right up there. Not what I want there. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. There. I almost want to, I feel like putting a screw in there, eh? One screw to keep that from sliding. I'm going to see at the end. But the 180 degrees is the dryer exhaust doesn't come out that much. I'm going to tell in a sec why it's so important in this part. We're in Alberta, northern. Not really northern, I shouldn't say that. Edmonton, I guess it'd be central. Touch 4 hours north of Calgary in the U.S. border. So, you know, get the weather like, I guess, Montana, North Dakota, places like that. You can get really, really cold weather. And you have to insulate. I seen pictures. I was sent pictures of this, and it's ice on these pipes. So I'm gonna make sure this winter, no way, there's no more ice. So I slipped. It's in. I've slipped a screw right here, and on the other side. I didn't like it was slipping a bit. Now go on the other side. What I've been doing is, it's not wide enough this roll to kind of go here. You know, you end up with a little bit. I just cut a little piece, making it a little slack. Oh, we'll make this turn. Let's find out. The turns are the worst thing. Turns are the worst. Let's get a piece right here. I'm gonna make sure I'm below. All right, I got it here. Might need another little piece. I should have cut a little bigger. Let's see how I make out. I don't want this to slip. Now I can go straight here. And kind of tuck that there. I like to get the whole seam now. Kind of go here. We're cruising now. It works perfect. Show back here, just with this stuff. Tape. I used one drill. I snuck a screw in there. Scissors. Straight screwdriver. That's all it took to do this job. I have it running. You'd feel if you're leaking. Like, rub your hands here, make sure. And that's it. Put both the washer and the dryer on rubber. Really just to, you know, I don't like the appliances right on the cement. I didn't want to put wood there, even though we waterproofed the concrete. It's not just paint that we put on. And I tried to get the perforated ones with the holes. You can see right there, they were hard to get, but it's like one of those things. It's like, you know, that shrink inflation. Everything gets shrunk. That got shrunk. Is 3 vents. One over there to the far right is exhaust for, they have natural gas here. And the one in the center is 4-inch. We wrap that, and that goes into a return duct for fresh air. I love that. I love that. And the big one here, 6-inch, coming right down, is for radon gas. So everything's wrapped up. I went a little happy with the spray foam because I had to use one can. It does expand sometimes twice to 3 times its size. And see up here, so there's no way in hell Any ice is going to come through this winter. The exhaust is great, especially in the summer. You don't want your dryer leaking in the basement, creating more humidity. And last but not least, the floor. We managed to create something out of nothing. Very happy. I got a couple of scratches there. I was a little rough with the washing machine. And they started a framing here. And now that floor looks amazing, eh? And that's it. That's all it took, a little sweat. But remember, it wasn't just paint that we put on. I know this is a long video and I'm covering a lot of things. Weatherproof the concrete first. Don't just throw paint on top. And even if you do epoxy, same thing. If you get enough moisture in there, you'll peel the paint. I've seen it happen before. So we'll see how this takes in a year from now. And if it does lift, I could always take a grinder, redo it, and polish it, which I love to polish this. But I would bet the house on this. This would stay. All right, onward to more, what do you call it, honey-do list or granddad do list or father do list? Whatever the list may be, we got more stuff to do. Painting the stairs, the only tip I'll give you, be careful, like pick the right paint. Most of this paint, or it tends to be semi-gloss or high gloss, because it has a plastic coating and it's meant for wood. Get the right paint for this, because if you don't have the right paint, you're walking up down the stairs, you're just going to be wrecked. There's not really, just, always do your cutting first. We have a little tray and a little roller, but the big thing is, if you notice, like, there's no back pieces or risers, and try to, when you paint without the risers, it makes life so much easier. In this case, they weren't installed, or they fell off. They had like really cheap nails, so we had the opportunity of repairing them. And I ended up giving healthy 3 coats. Um, and it was a light beige. Then the floor's a little darker and looks a little modern. Like, I don't know, the green there looks a little, I don't know, just kind of dead. And it is tricky, because I didn't show all the video, but when you go up to the top, it gets harder and harder to paint stairs. So make sure nobody's walking up and down. And that's about it for the stairs. Like, I mean, I can't really discuss anything. If you haven't painted before, try to get used to the products. Try on a bare piece of wood, how to roll it out and be comfortable with it. Sometimes it's not as easy, and sometimes you get a little intimidated. And don't worry if you're cutting and you get a little over. It's not the end of the world. And this is not like high end. All we're after here is we want those stairs to look clean. That's it. So when you go down that basement, you don't feel like, okay, I got dirty stairs, I feel dirty. You want to go down that basement, just look at those stairs and feel clean. And when you do that, then you're on your way to doing like what we're doing a quick flip. That basement added $30,000 to that house easily. And we'll show you a little later in the video how we did it, and not to revisit. It's important to fix things once and the right way. They have risers here, like they were already done 1/2 inch. And like I said, I showed them there, I don't know what they were thinking, those little nails. There's no way in hell. So they're kind of pre-drilled. We put about 3 good coats on there outside in the sun, so it dried pretty fast. And this might not be the same as your home. Your home might be a little different, and this one is. If I had a table saw, I'd cut these to exact width, but life in 3,000 miles away from the shop. Second last day here, and this is it. I got this little piece of wood. If I'll start smashing it here, probably take out the quarter of the MDF. Get something like this. I got a long way to go. I almost want to take a blade width off. Man, oh man. It's, and they're all cut the same size. Yeah. I got a number 6 screws, which are thinner. They have a little bite. I'm going into the solid pine, which will have a great bite here. So I'm gonna go like where the bend is, right about here. I'm gonna go over the second one. And of course they went crooked. That would be no fun if they went straight. Now I'm looking here, and all right, I'm going to say this, a hammer drill next time. Look at this, let's go. I'll be honest with you, I'm frustrated with this drill. I would spend the extra $50 and get it DeWalt. I mean, this chuck comes loose. It's, you know, and then this way you get the DeWalt set, and if you get the hammer drill, you're more set for home. And if you're 2 weeks into this, you're saved so much money on repairs. The bathroom alone will pay for the tools that you saved. I had another family member put this in, and they cursed my name. And I don't know how they even got that in. That's so brutal. It's brutal. It's not even funny. But the nails are all too much of an angle. Really, nobody sees this. This doesn't have to be pretty. I'm just going to put a nice bead. And I'll stop it from moving. Because I have nothing to hold on top. I don't care so much about the sides, but I do care about the top. All right, so this was done. We're happy about this. It looks clean. We used the 3M anti-slip sticks at the end. I did it because I knew a family member that slipped on a curb and cracked her ankle, really broken in half, right across, and has pins. And so I tend to don't overlook the safety. This paint is, like we discussed before, was semi-gloss, and that's all I could get for this, like an exterior washable type paint. You know, and so they're not going to slip. I put caulking in there where I said I wasn't, and I did. It's a little darker. I'm done. They can put a little bit of a touch up there. I'm on my, waiting for my plane to take me back home. And so, let's see how the rest of the room looked. So now we got that. What's great about this is somebody that wants to buy the house will look and see the potential. Before, you really couldn't see it because you saw the dirty floor, you saw cracks in the concrete. You know, it's a real turnoff because you mentioned the word concrete and cracks, people freak. And because, you know, they hear all these horror stories. So they can see the potential here, right? I was going to fill that in. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Over here, the laundry room, right there. Now that's nice and clean. We got the shelving. I screwed that shelving partly into the wall. That's the door and everything else not going to open. Totally separate area. I think it looks fabulous. Now we're going to come back in January. See the drywall? They want to go right around to the floor and come right around to here and stop. And the other homeowner did it. I like the way he did it here. You can see in there, he used rock wool. He used 2x4s. I would like 2x6s, but that's me. But that doesn't really matter, the 2x6, 2x4 when you have an uninsulated floor. So it's not really going to do much. And the value, what we conservatively estimate just for doing the floor and cleaning things up, you added $30,000 in this area, the hot market. It's not even a finished basement, but people can see the potential. Does that make sense? If they can see the potential, then they're like, they're not too scared of, these jobs. But if you have the drywall around, then that's going to look like super, super clean. This is what it looked like before. We put etching first, and to clean that up. But there was like black spots, cracks, and it was just dirty and nasty down there on that floor. So what I've used is this. It's hard to get this stuff, but you can find it, and you can see it goes into the pores and creates a reaction. It's not like self-leveling cement I'm putting here. And what I'm trying to do is, for sure, this isn't insulated, and trying to keep that moisture down, if that makes sense. Like, so anytime you're this, you're almost 8 feet down here, and you're gonna have moisture. They do have droughts here, so this area dries, and that's more dangerous too, because you get a little moisture, and that moisture leaves and drought. And guess what happens when water leaves? Boom, shrinkage and a little bit of cracks. I repaired the cracks with this. The stuff was amazing. I wish I had the before right here. Kind of see the cracks here, and it really did a nice job. There's the tools right there that I did for the whole job. A couple of wrenches, the Roby drill, the plugs. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do that. And you heard how much I added to the basement. So don't be hung up on the tools if you're DIY and you're starting out. The only thing I would suggest is get the better drill. Get the DeWalt combo with the hammer drill, because you saw what I was doing going through that stucco, in case you got to go through brick and you got to put some plugs in, things like that. So, you don't need the big tools. I struggled, I cursed, because they were different jobs. I'm on my way home. I'm almost ready to land. You could see why where I live, like how beautiful it really is. It's clean. There's no pollution. I mean, so much water. It's insane. The summer just explodes with life. So I'm glad to come back and start the house. We're gonna do a lot more videos. Continue. Thank you so much for watching. And lastly, the house we spent $1,500 on everything plus a lawnmower. In the comments below, I'll show you what lawnmower and weed whacker I got. It was really good, and the value we added well over 30,000. And that's it. So thank you for watching. See you guys all next time. And whoops, please subscribe. Come again.